This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt's office says 2 tribes have agreed to a gaming extension with the state as 3 others file a federal lawsuit. The Chickasaw, Choctaw, and Cherokee nations announced their lawsuit this week in a dispute over gaming compacts. The tribes say they automatically renewed January 1st, 2020. The governor disagrees, saying they expired, and he wants to renegotiate for larger gaming revenue. More than 30 tribes have rejected the governor's extension. The Kaliji Tribal Town and the United Kituwa Band of Cherokee Indians accepted the offer, according to the governor's office. The gaming dispute has caused tension between tribes and the state. The state secretary of Native American Affairs, Lisa Billy, resigned before Christmas, calling the actions by the state unnecessary conflict, believing it will damage relations. The Department of Housing and Urban Development has awarded nearly $2 billion to tribes across the country for affordable housing projects. Wyoming Public Radio's Savannah Marr reports.
This is the latest wave of funding to be awarded through the federal Indian Housing Block Grant Program. In a video announcement, HUD Secretary Ben Carson said it's part of a larger effort to improve housing options in Indian country.
Here at HUD, we're excited for this new opportunity to better serve Native American communities through our government-to-government relationship with the tribes.
More than 200 tribes applied for a housing grant. The Northern Arapaho tribe was one of 52 that made the cut. Northern Arapaho Tribal Housing Director Patrick Goggles says the nearly $5 million grant will help get 20 families off the waiting list for homes.
We maintain a waiting list of about 180 families. And about that same amount don't apply because of the length of the waiting list.
Overall, the funding will pay for the construction of 1,200 new homes and maintenance on existing tribal housing projects. It comes after a 2017 HUD study found an acute housing shortage in Indian country and issues like severe overcrowding in homes on reservations. For National Native News, I'm Savannah Marr.
A popular Inuk singer-songwriter has died. Kelly Fraser was 26 years old. More from Dan Karpenchuk.
Fraser first gained attention as a singer in 2012 when her Inuk cover of Rihanna's song Diamonds went viral. That cover has been viewed more than 380,000 times. Then her second album, Sidna, was nominated for Best Indigenous Music Album at the 2018 Juno Awards. That album featured lyrics in both English and Inuktitut. It dealt with the history of the Inuit people through the story of Sidna, the goddess of the sea. Fraser said the aim of the album was to help heal those suffering from the effects of colonization. Earlier this week, Fraser's family released a statement in which they confirmed that she died by suicide on Christmas Eve. The family also said that she was an incredibly kind person who suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder and was willing to share her struggles with fans in the hope that it might help others. The family statement said Fraser suffered from PTSD since childhood because of racism and cyberbullying and was actively seeking help. She was raised in Nunavut in Canada's north, but was living in Winnipeg at the time of her death. Fraser was also a fierce advocate for Indigenous rights and was part of a project that provided workshops in Inuktitut and free recording equipment to northern communities that couldn't afford it. The family has also requested privacy and said they would release no other details about the circumstances of Fraser's death. Memorials are to be held in Winnipeg and Iqaluit, but no details have yet been provided. For National Native News, I'm Dan Karpenchuk.
And I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Support by Freedom Lodge, inviting you to the 200-hour Intertribal Historical Trauma Masterclass 2020 when you can learn a body-based approach to trauma reconciliation. There is no charge for tribal members. Registration deadline is March 2nd at freedomlodge.org.
And by the law offices of Sonosky, Chambers, Saxe, Miller, and Monkman, a national tribal rights law firm with offices in Washington, D.C., New Mexico, California, and Alaska, and online at sonosky.com.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.